Hello and welcome to episode 2 of our Let's Play. As you can see in front, last time we managed to build a basic temporary factory, just producing all the basic items, wire, iron plates, rotors and stuff. We managed to unlock heaps of stuff from the awesome shop, so we can do concrete and other stuff like that. Got some power going, obviously. Managed to produce solid biofuels so we can keep these going, and unlocks in the MAM, and not to mention all the tiers in the hub up to coal power. Cool. So what we're going to do today? Today we're going to build a bus, starting here, going all the way over to here, which we're going to build the permanent tier 1 and 2 factory. So what we're going to start with doing is we're going to start building the bus from here, I think, and then go that way. So I'll probably go and have a bit of a plan, figure out the best route, and then yeah, I'll show you in a second. So I've managed to get up to here now, almost down to the bottom of the dangerous area. You can see the base from here. Yeah, as long as I can stay out the gas as much as possible, it's not too bad. I can kind of do it. Anyway, I'll keep going. I've managed to build up to here now. It was pretty straightforward being down here, as you can imagine. I must have out the gas, but I've run out of reinforced iron plates now, or Mark 2 belts. I managed to get quite a lot of crash sites, but then I've got to wait for them to build up over in the plant. So what we'll probably do now is start building the structure in the middle. I think I might do it here with that patches, which will bring it'll scoop up basically all the belts will come into there. It'll then come up and then come over to here. And inspectors come to inspect my building work. I thought I'd record it now. Anyway, I've started the middle bit. I've worked out roughly where I want it to be. I think that's a good spot. Just figuring out a few sizes and of the circle, and just trying to see what might work best. So I'll continue on, and hopefully by then the rain will have stopped. So I finished the central tower, collecting all the ore all the way around. Got a port with a power nub, goes out to an ore node. That one will go to there. It's full all the way around. The next thing to do now is to place the miners down and belt them up to here. So on the inside, which you can go in, that goes around there to bring all the power. Then you go to the hole here, so you can go up and come and have a look in here. It's not quite spaghetti, it works. No clipping. Right, so I've placed a few miners down and I've belted these two up. Pretty simple, really. Just simple belt bus back to here. I haven't put belts in those yet. I'll do those in a minute, and then I'll then start bringing in the iron from up there down to here in a second. And then what I might do is I'll build a temporary belt for the copper through here into here. That way I can, we'll see. I'm not sure. I haven't figured out what I'm doing. We can do that when you have to need that copper, and it's in use. Right, yeah. So I'll crack on, and we'll go from there. I managed to finish the last couple of minings I can do. This iron is also in use, so I'll leave it for the moment. And the same with the copper. But I've got the belt ready for the iron here, and I will, well, have to save the copper for now. So I don't need it coming through just yet anyway, because there's nowhere to send it to yet. I can fill the bus and it'll just stay there. So what I'm going to do is going to go over there and start mapping out how the factory will go, basically. Okay, so I've come over and I've gone down and I've cleared any foliage I've found on any of these plateaus. As you can see, the bus is also up to here now. So I've tracked all that foliage over into the plant now to turn into solid biofuel, which will help keep the power going, which is quite cool. So yeah, so the next thing to do now is to start putting foundations on top of these plateaus so I can figure out the sizes of factories, individual factory buildings I can make basically on each one, and then from there I can plan out what part will be built where on which plateau, if that makes sense. Right, so I'll get going. So I've put foundations now on all the plateaus I think I'll need. So now I need to figure out what's going to go where. So I'm thinking already maybe rotors over there, maybe modular frames in there if they're quite large. Something along those lines, and then maybe just quite large, so I could probably fit, maybe even as in larger than those, but probably fit 3 or 4 on there maybe. So I'm not sure what I might do here. This is really large, but it seems a bit. I could probably fit all of them on here. That's the thing. But then means haven't got all the factories everywhere. Yeah, I need to do a bit more planning and thinking about this. So what I might need to do is work on the belt bus a bit. Maybe just finish off. I think the reinforced iron plates are built up by now, so I can finish the last few bits on there and see what I do. Okay, so we've got all the belts now marked 2 apart from the end one. I can highlight it. So that's in your 60 belt anyway. So I've hooked up the last 2 ore nodes so that we've got everything we need, and I've done a little bit of planning. It's not remotely finished. I know I need 4 constructors for concrete, and I know this one, for example, requires 4 smelters and 6 constructors. I just need to figure out the rest. It's always good to plan, and I like using the signs for this, because yes, you've got a, this way of bringing it up to do this, you have got a notes here, but it can be hard to read, and there's literally only so much space you can use. So I do use that sometimes, but at the same time, the signs, it's just so much more visual, and you can get a lot more detail on it. Right, so I'm probably going to finish that off, planning out, and then probably start building. I might start over here, and then see what I can fit where. I've finished the planning. I now know I need like 2 smelters and 3 constructors for iron plates. I haven't quite fully fleshed out the underclocking for the smelter for screws, but everything else is fleshed out, which makes it so much easier to then figure out how much space I need for each building. You know, whether do we need it to be like 5 foundations wide and 6 deep or whatever. So I have started. So that's going to be for sheets, and that's going to be for concrete over there. And then what will happen is there'll be like a little tower here. The belts will come across the tower and then come down, and then it'll be distributed out that way and that way. And between each building there's going to be a gap as well, and little walkways and stuff across. So yeah, I think it's going to go well, and then yeah, I will continue and we'll see how I get on. Okay, so I was building and had a slight change of mind. And I've built this here, that's gone, and I've worked out where the centre of this, roughly of this, where this plateau is. There's a bit missing here. I could make a little overhang, but basically this is going to be central storage and the main base for the playthrough. So it's going to be, I'll probably make it circular, so I've worked out where roughly the middle will be. So there's, unfortunately, it's a bit here and here which might need to get covered and overhang over the plateau, but yeah. And then I've put these pillars here to mark where the walkway is so I can go down easier. And then I've worked out what's going to go where. Slide down the stairs, back in my trousers. So I worked out I'm going to put iron rods here, screws here, wire there, I think cable, that cable, yes, and so forth. I haven't got any uses for those two yet. Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, and then down there would be some of the other bits and bobs. And what's that? I haven't worked out what's going to be on these at all yet. So I'm getting there. It's taking shape. I worked out roughly the size for each building. Well, I'm pretty sure this is the size I need for each building, to be fair. Yeah, I haven't worked out what's going to be here yet. What I might actually do, because I need a small facility to turn biomass and slugs into stuff. So I could do some of that in one of some of these spare ones. But we'll see. Right, I'm going to start building. I finished figuring out what needs to go where, and I've started bringing supports and stuff in. Yeah, I'll make biomass here, reinforced iron plates there, and that's boilers and rotors over there, for example. Okay, so I've built the first factory, and I've started on the next one. So the idea is each room, well, each factory is separated by walkways, and then there's some belts underneath. So these are going to be doing the concrete, and there's a little room underneath, so you can see you can get down here and do the maintenance if required. So the belts come down and they'll get distributed out. So there's a manifold here, and then you'll put a bit of glass at the top, put nice clean white windows with a little pillar on each corner, just so it kind of breaks up a bit and keeps it neat and tidy. And then you'll see what's being built in each room as you go in. And then over here could be the copper sheets. So we've got some smelters, some simple load balancing, and then to the constructors. And then underneath that gets sent back and round. And over there will be the iron plates. So again, ore will come in, final product will come out. So in effect, each building will take in the ore it's required to make that product, and will then spit out that final product. Obviously some ore will go through a building to the next building, and parts will go back through a building and go back out. So obviously so along here is a good set of belts. This is probably the furthest point, that's why I thought I'd start here with the most complicated bit. So the ore will come down probably on these belts, and then the final products will go back up again, in effect, and then go back underneath and then scoot back up to what will be the final storage area. I've gone ahead and built the shells of all the buildings, lots of glass, and I finished those down there now as well. And yeah, so all the buildings have now got walls, including that one there. I'm still not sure what I'm going to be doing over there. Actually, I do know what I'm going to be doing over there. I'll probably build the temporary biomass burners to power this whole section going until we're onto coal. Okay, so all the factories are done now, including even the modular frames. And I'll come and show you. That's going to be for the new power. I've changed up my mind on that end building. I'll show you, run the quick way. So that's not going to be for making biomass anymore. It's going to be making slugs into power shards using smart splitters. And then over there, so the ore and reinforced iron plates will go up and down here, and then the biomass will go down here, get converted into solid biofuel, and then eventually it'll come back up again and go up to the base. I've built a pile of biomass burners now, which should power all this. And what I'll do, I'll combine it with the biomass burners over across the way at first until that's all dismantled. And over here, pretty simple setup really. You put in leaves and wood in here, and then this splits them out left and right into the different biomass productions, and then it goes through here to make into solid biofuel, which then goes through this system here. Obviously I haven't got the industrial containers yet, so I've stacked two over each other. It goes up first, and then it'll come straight down here, and then it'll fill up this one. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do now is, I'll show you, probably the easiest thing to do, let's be honest. Run through here, run through here, and through to here. Okay, so this is where the input needs to go, and the output for that matter. And then needs to go from up there down, and then the outputs need to go up, basically. So what will happen up here? What's happened is then it needs to come down here, go across to here, and then come down. So I need to build a little tower here to bring the stuff down, and then I can then bring all the ore. At the same time, I have to start thinking about powering everything on at some point soon, and then we can start actually some proper productions. Right, so I'll probably focus on joining these two together basically for now. Right, so I've started on a tower. Let's go have a look. I haven't started there yet. This all feeds in and out. Ins on the left, outs on the right. Then I'll come up, I obviously need to put some supports in place. And then all these belts will come out through here. There'll be a gap under all this, like a logistics floor, probably specifically for this, and everything else will go on top. Right, so I've placed a few containers here, ready to receive the items. They're going to be mixed to start with. And then in here, I've put in some leaves for going down all the way to there, which is being converted to solid biofuel, and I've powered up all the biomass burners. This is all powered up and it's all ready to rock and roll. So let's turn it all on. Okay, one by one. Hopefully there won't be any bugs. No bugs, no bugs. There we go. Yeah, what's going to happen as well is there's not going to be any supports, I think. What I'll probably do is these will come into the side of the building when the building's finished, and that's what will support the top of this. So no pillars go up and down. I think that will probably look quite good once it's finished being done. So let's see the first few items being made. It will take a hot minute to come down, as you can imagine. Yeah, you can see all the ore coming down. The other limestone is going to take a hot minute, obviously, to come down. I should see the first machines begin to come on in a second. There we go, there's the first bit of ore. So success. It's all working and producing all the items that it's supposed to be making. So the next thing to do is to go and destroy the base, the old base, and then after that we can probably progress on towards coal power. Right, so I have got it all destroyed now. The copper pipe belt even has been put through properly now, and yeah, it's all been destroyed. Hub's over there now as well. We don't really need to come back here at all anymore now. I have left these few biomass burners in the sink so that I can, well, one, I can chuck stuff away from over here. Also, it just keeps the power going out a little bit longer with these extra four. All the other ones are in the way of this belt, so I just remove them. I have kept this going so I can produce some biomass for these four. Right, so here's the temporary storage I've made. Just one bin for each item. They're mainly from the ones over there, and these are also replenished, but these just stay as they are. Could put some smart splitters behind and have all that feeding, but I just can't be bothered right now, to be honest. There's quite a bit here, and if I need stuff I can just grab from here, just also replenished. So the next thing to do now is coal power, which will be the next episode, but I'm thinking of doing it somewhere over there. I'm not 100% sure, but somewhere over there. Let's set a couple of coal nodes over there. I'll probably utilise those, and then there's plenty of water here, and it's best to bring the coal to the water rather than the water to the coal if we to use coal power. You don't need a huge amount of water anyway, thankfully. But I think we'll place it over there, either on the cliff side, maybe on some of those ledges, put some coal power. I'm not sure yet, we'll see. So in the meantime, this can just keep putting the bins. And what's good as well is if I'm taking all parts from here, once these fill up and the machines will back up, but this one's already backed up in fact, it means things can start turning off. So that belt stop is probably the one for these items, basically. It means as the factory all starts to shut down, like that one's, just realised that one stopped as well, that's already filled up. Yeah. It means it can all shut down, it'll save power in the day, and it means once we go into coal power, I can then maybe do something a bit better. We'll see. Okay, so for now, that's the end of this episode, and we'll see you the next one where we do coal power over there.